underway.
David Stoll, world outdoor champion of Germany. Oh my goodness, what a cracking start by this magician of shot putting, just 21 years old, has regularly produced his lifetime best in major finals at World Youth, World Junior, World Senior level, and now possibly the World Indoors as well. Lifetime best before this, 21.43. He's absolutely obliterated it. One of the longest putts in history. Reese Hoffer of the USA to follow an enormous throw by David Stoll of Germany, and that has gone too flat.
Well, that put by Stoll up into the world all-time top 10 indoors.
Reese Hoffer trying to respond, just a little bit tight. Fairly typical of somebody who's just followed one of the greatest putts of all time. Majewski, the Olympic champion. Good start for the Polish giant. Adopts the same technique as David Stoll. Glides across the circle, then hits it and chases the shot as far out of the circle as he can go without fouling. That's a very, very good start. He's shaking his head. That's got to be approaching his lifetime best. Indeed, it is a new national record. He has thrown further outdoors, but what a good start. Well, Ryan Whiting enjoying the fact that he's a World Championship finalist. But if he can reproduce the sort of distance he achieved when he was warming up, which was around about that sort of distance, he could be in with a shout for a medal. Take a wide stance at the back of the circle and then explodes at the front. So Whiting, great start for him, 21.59 in second place. A chance for Reese Hoffer, a former world indoor champion back in 2006, but consistently one of the best throwers in the world. So what a great start we've had by both David Stoll at 21.88 and Ryan Whiting, his teammate. That could be better, just inside the sector line. Good balance. Doesn't really drive out of the front of the circle like Majewski or like David Stoll, the German, but that was better. Trying to approach the sort of distance will bring him in the possibility of a medal chance. 21.55 in third place. And what about Thomas Majewski? This has turned out to be a cracking start to this competition. He's won the Polish National Championship 15 times. Lovely technique, and once again bouncing that shot out well beyond the 21-meter mark. Plenty of support here as well. Tall giant sinks low, drives back, hits it. That is the sort of technique that the majority of children will be taught when they throw the shot. Another national record, a massive one, moves up into second place.
4 men over 21.50, absolutely unprecedented in World Indoor Championships history. What a competition.
There's still a long way to go in the men's shot put. I'm quite sure that the fight for the medals is not over yet. The Catherine high jump continues as well. Lauro of Argentina set South American record this morning. So he's next in the circle. And he will start round 3. We've had all sorts of shenanigans going on in the first 2 rounds, but still everybody chasing that huge, huge start to the competition by David Stoll of Germany. And that, oh, I thought it was beyond the second white line. It wasn't. I was getting very excited there. Good performance by this young fella. 2013 and 2022 his putts so far. So certainly can mix it with the best, and he's got to find a little extra now. He's down in 6th place. All 8 finalists have of course, receive the full 6 throws. And it's David Stahl. Let me just reiterate. He has won World Championships, gold medals at youth title, at youth level, at junior level, and now senior level outdoors. And he's going to get his 4th gold medal if he keeps going at this rate indoors. Very fast. Looks so cool, calm and composed when he goes into the circle. But totally explodes at the front. Really is like a human cannon. That 7.26 kilogram ball goes hurtling out into the arena. Now if it's beyond 21.88, which it's not, I say it may improve his position on the world all-time list, but just 2 centimetres shy.
Well, he's some athlete though, isn't he? 199 tall, 124 kilograms or so. Very athletic, very fast. He's sensational what he's already done, and he's got years ahead of him.
Absolutely. Likes of Reese Hoffer, 34 years old now. David Stahl, only 21. This is Rutger Smith of the Netherlands. In terms of ability, this guy's got tons. I was watching him warming up, going close to 21 metres, but he hasn't managed to reproduce that so far. 2 fouls. At least that throw will be measured. 7th place at the moment is Ivan Yushkov of Russia, 20 metres 10. It's beyond that, and Smith moves into 5th place. Well, nervous moments now for Reese Hoffer. He's been a world champion in the past. He's had the world's longest throw in the past. But now he's got to produce his best throw in 2012 if he wants to get gold in this men's shot put final. It's the same coach as Adam Nelson, former double Olympic silver medalist. The coach's name is Don Babbitt, very well known in throwing circles. And watch this, very fast at the end. Hits it hard. Oh. Down the left-hand side, but only just on the 21-metre line. That won't improve his position. His teammate Ryan Whiting must be delighted with his performance here so far. The next man in the circle is a man that Reese Hoffer has just walked past, Tomasz Majewski. We'll catch up with the shot put a little bit later.
As we now come to the last.
Well, we've been watching an enthralling men's shot put final. This will be the 2nd gold medal to be awarded this evening. And here is Sidorov of Russia. He's in 5th place at the moment, only just qualified for this final. Didn't really get in a good position to really blast that shot out of those giant shoulders. So we're in the 4th round where the 8th place will throw first down to the best guy, which at the moment is still David Stahl of Germany, throwing last. And Sidorov's best throw came in the last round at 20 metres 78. Now, Reese Hoffer is currently out of the medals. This amiable, but such explosive American. He's been in the medals for many, many years now at major championships, but needs to produce something over 21 metres now, well over 21 metres, in order to get in amongst them. He's trying very hard, but that is a big, big foul. And the shot is just currently coming round the top bend. What's this? just over-rotated, hit the cage, actually hit the cage on the top. So, not quite sure I've ever seen that before, guys. But he's only got 2 throws left now if he wants a medal.
Well, when it hit the top of the cage, it was quite a way down there, actually, Paul. But it stayed in, it had been a massive putt.
Yes, it certainly would.
Luckily no one was hurt.
Whereas the young man had to go chasing miles to retrieve that shot put. Meanwhile, Ryan Whiting played second fiddle to Reese Hoffer in the American Championships, but now with the chance of a medal, another explosive athlete, but just over 21 metres perhaps. Very, very good discus throw, as well as being a very good shot putter. He's won numerous collegiate titles in both those events. I must admit, it would be a big surprise if we could pick off a bronze medal here. Still in 3rd place. Best throw coming in the 1st round. Majewski. It was a wonderful moment when he lifted the Olympic title. Won a silver medal in the Europeans 2 years later. And he will be the defending champion, of course, in the Olympic Stadium in London in a few months' time. In 2nd place, 21.65 in the 2nd round. That was a new Polish record. And that is not as far. What is going on, he's saying? But certainly no doubt about the class act in this event so far. David Stahl, 2 throws, which quite frankly have been absolutely brilliant, both in terms of execution and distance. Majewski, 20.94, just short of the 21-metre mark, with a couple of throws to go.
400 metres for women. We have 3 and in the shot we now have Reese Hoffer coming into the 5th round after that big put, 21.55 in the 2nd round, but he's out of the medals at the moment in 4th place, just 4 centimetres down on his compatriot Ryan Whiting. Vastly experienced. Here's the big man in the circle now. Very high standard competition, but he's got to be close to his best. Spins around that circle, out it goes, it is a big one. Well now, it's over 21. Oh, no, red flag raised. Let's just look at, well, we're not seeing it, but he's obviously just stepped out of the circle. That's a shame, because that was a big put and could have been enough to take him into the bronze spot at 29.59 plus.
Well, I didn't see much wrong with that, did you, Paul?
No, not at all. Reese Hoffer is experienced enough to know whether he's fouled it or not. He really is not bothering questioning that call of a foul. Maybe he fouled it at the back of the circle. That's a difficulty that you have when you're a rotational thrower like Ryan Whiting here. 5th round. That was faster, and that was bigger. What a competition this fella is having. Sinks low and blasted it. That's certainly the highest throw I think that we've seen so far, apart from Reese Hoffer, who nearly put it not out of the circle before, but out of the sector as well. 22 metres, and the American has taken the lead. Fantastic. That is one of the longest in history. 22 metres. Only 8 people have ever thrown further in the history of track and field athletics indoors. And Ryan Whiting suddenly finds himself at the elite end of men's shot putting. Now can Majewski, and more importantly David Stahl, the leader before this round, recover from that shot? Thomas Majewski now of Poland. Is the adrenaline flowing? I think it might be. Well, even those people, Steve, who don't necessarily like shopping, like shot putting, Did I say like shopping?
There's a few of those, I'm afraid, but yes.
But even if you can't, 21.72, another national record, you cannot disguise the fact that in terms of competition, this is really at the top end. This is the Formula One of what the World Championships is all about.
I don't think, honestly, Paul, I've seen a better competition where it's been so close, with the athletes trying so far. That's the thing.
Well, we mentioned that this guy has won gold medals at every level of his young career. When he was a youth under 17, when he was a junior under 20, and as a senior last year in Daegu. Can he come back? What has he got left? The 5th round of the men's shot put final. Explodes, and that is not far enough. It's all going to be down to the last round.
Okay, excitement now.
Certainly, the last half hour or so has given the crowd here a lot to cheer in this stadium. We've got one more heat of the women's 400 metres semi-final, that is, and then the men's semi-finals too. Meanwhile, back in the shot, the last round. It's all or nothing for these guys now, and Sidorov actually did well to make it through to the final. He's going to finish in 5th place, which is a pretty good result for him. The big surprise of this competition, though, is Ryan Whiting, 22 metres, a massive lifetime best for the American. And it does just show that for the time being, David Stahl can be beaten. But Reese Hoffer, the last 2 throws have been big, they've both been fouls. Can he do it in the last round? World champion way back in 2006, can he do it again? The next few seconds will tell us. Expect this to be powerful and quick. Gave it everything. It's long, it's massive, but it's a foul. Oh my goodness. His last 3 throws now have been big. No doubt about that, but Reese Hoffer finishes outside the medals. It's all between Tomasz Majewski, David Stahl and Ryan Whiting. We could be in for a big surprise here. Now, did he foul it at the front? I don't think so. I think, if anything, he was maybe fouled at the back of the circle when he spun around. Anyway, Ryan Whiting now in the lead at 22 metres. Can he go further? Oh, maybe he can. This has been a fascinating competition right from the start. But David Stahl, the giant young German, blasted out to a new lifetime indoor best and held on until the 5th round, until this man produced his lifetime best. 21.98. That is consistency. But all he can do now is wait and see whether he's to become the champion. Well, Tomasz Majewski may be one of the men who's got something to say about that. He's already set 2 Polish national records. But he's got to improve by another 28 centimetres to get even on level terms with Ryan Whiting. Is this enough? No, it's not. So this competition will be decided on the very last throw by a giant young German who wants to add the indoor title to the outdoor title he won in Korea last year. Reese Hoffer in the background. I think he'll be disconsolate with his 4th place, but Majewski's on the medal rostrum once more, guaranteed a bronze. What can Stahl, the German, do? Oh, it's massive. He gets a red flag, and so that means the medal goes to a young man prowling around in the background, Ryan Whiting of the USA. David Stahl is certainly the most talented thrower on the circuit at the moment. There's 1 or 2 other Americans in the background, and they'll all meet again in London this summer to decide the Olympic title, and what a competition that is going to be. Well, next up we have the final, or the last semi-final, should I say, of the women's 400 metres. The athletes are already out on the track, but there is Ryan Whiting. And there is the lineup for semi-final number 3. 3 athletes who've never been on the rostrum before in World Indoor Championship history. So this is a bit of a changing of the guard, if you like. Krajewski won a bronze medal back in 2008 in Valencia. Reese Hoffer, of course, who finished 4th. He won the event back in 2006. No Christian Cantwell this time. Man who's won this gold medal 3 times. But we do have another American, and it's a new American who wins gold here in Istanbul. USA consistently amongst the medals, by far and away the most successful nation in World Indoor Championship history. The bronze medal, twice he set a new Polish national record, goes to the Olympic champion, still putting the finishing touches to defending his title in London. Well, let me tell you, 21.72 meters, still a fantastic throw. The perfect record of David Storr comes to an end. Winning titles as a youth, as a junior and as a senior outdoors. Couldn't quite do it today, but 21.88, another lifetime best in another major championship final. He gets the silver. I'll be interested to see the expression on the winner's face. He obviously came into the final thinking he could win it. But can he now believe that he actually has won it? When he gets the gold medal around his neck, surely he will realise he's the world indoor champion for men's shot put. Longest throw in the world this year, one of the longest throws ever indoors. Far and away the biggest victory of Ryan Whiting's life. And Thomas Krajewski, at 2 meters and 4 centimeters tall, is almost taller than Ryan Whiting, even standing on the bronze medal rostrum. But there is the roll of honour. Longest in the world this year, a personal best performance and a new national record. That was just part of the story about the men's shot put final.
So that concludes day 1 of these World Indoor Athletics Championships. And it really sets us up for a brilliant couple of days to come here in Istanbul. We've had mainly heats and qualifying, no particular shocks apart from the failure to get going in both Caslin in the women's hurdles and Clark in the men's 60 metres. Most impressive heat performance, well, perhaps Sally Pearson's Oceania record in the women's hurdles of 7.85. We've had a world leading from Mauro da Silva in the long jump, 8.28. But perhaps above all, we've had the 2 wonderful finals. We've had the shot We've just seen the medal presentation for with that victory by Ryan Whiting with 22 metres, and above all, the world record by Natalia Dobrinska. That's